Well, thank you all for joining us today. When we began thinking about the future of the league, one of my priorities was pretty simple. How do I bring MML closer to our members, and how do I bring them directly to your main street? Not just when you're at the conference, not just when there's a legislative issue and we need your support, and not only when you call us, but in your communities, understanding what you are facing and helping connect you to the resources and expertise that you need and that MML provides. Seeing the success we had with our engagement regional town hall program under President Carroll and our current president's theme of connected communities, it's just been the perfect time to launch our League Field Service program. I am especially proud of how quickly this team brought to life after the board adopted this year's budget. It's been 7 weeks, and we went from a recommendation to the board to an organizational priority to building this statewide team of expertise and experienced professionals who you'll meet today. And they've already begun connecting and being on the ground in our membership communities. And I want to be very clear. This isn't intended to be a one size fits all program. Our municipalities are incredibly diverse. What a small town needs from MML may be very different from what our larger cities need. Field Services just gives us another way to listen, identify the needs earlier, connect you with the right resource, the right staff member, the right administration official, and make sure the league is continually adapting the services we provide. We are in the infancy of this program. I think it's how Tom coined it the other day. So if you have suggestions of how we should be managing this, please let us know. We would appreciate it as we plan to make this a long-term priority for the league. This is a bigger part of our vision for MML, to be more than an association that you just belong to. We want to be the resource and a partner you can rely on in your own town halls. I am incredibly excited about the expertise that we've assembled. And rather than me tell you about them, I'm going to turn it over to Tom so he can tell you about the team. You can meet them directly and then learn about who your direct representative is for your district and ask some questions throughout the way. And I don't see the current president unless she joined. Oh, I am going to turn this over to President James, who I do see has joined, just to bring some welcoming remarks to our members.
Thank you so much, Teresa, and thanks to everyone for joining and giving us time today to learn about this important new program that is truly going to benefit our members in a very unique way as we move forward. I don't want to take any more time because Teresa's done a great job in giving an overview, other than to say I want to thank the MML team and the new team members who will be a part of the field services uh, part of our program and really helping the members maximize the value of our membership in the league. So with that, Teresa, I'll turn it back over to you.
And invite Teresa. Tom, take it away. Tom, you're muted.
Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, so thank you, Teresa. Thank you, President James. I know with your support that this program is going to be really successful, and I really appreciate the idea and the opportunity to be able to be a part of it. So just real quickly, some of the program details. I've broken down those details into three parts: outreach, scheduling, reporting, and documenting. So. As far as the outreach goes, as Teresa mentioned, we've broken the state and the membership into 5 different regions, each with its own representative, who you will all meet shortly. And so at this point, I know we have, and I am one of those representatives as well. And we have reached out to every MML member. One of the things we want to do is continue to follow up. So scheduling so far has been a combination of in-person meetings and also virtual. So we're trying to work with all of you and trying to find the best way to connect initially. Our goal, however, is within each quarter of each year to meet with everybody in person. And we're also, before we get through with this, going to ask, for your help in helping us make those connections. With the scheduling, so far, we've met with approximately 20 of MML's municipal members, and we have a number of others that are on the schedule right now. The way I've talked about it is there's kind of low-hanging fruit, I suppose. Those that the easiest ones to schedule are not surprisingly have been those that MML already has the best relationship with. So where we may need some assistance going forward is connecting with some of those who are not as typically engaged with the league. And then during these visits, as Teresa alluded to, it's we're trying to assess what the needs of our members are in each visit, doing what we can to address those various issues. And also a key piece here is maintaining and building relationships. So I know part of what we've heard is a desire to be better connected with the league, and this program is really designed to do that. So without further ado, I want to start introducing some of our members not members, I'm sorry, our field service representatives. The handsome gentleman who is on the screen right now is Jeff Rhodes. Jeff, if you want to jump up here, so we're going to talk to each field services rep individually. And Jeff is batting leadoff here. So Jeff, welcome. I have a few questions for each of you. So we're doing this kind of interview style. So
Sure.
if I'm going to throw the question at you and give us our best answer. Does that work?
Sure, works.
All right. So our first question is, what drew you to working with municipalities?
Well, as some of the MML staff would know, I have spent over 30 years in municipal management. 5 different towns as either an interim town manager, or city administrator, or city manager. So I guess you could say that municipal government is in my bones, so to speak. So I also had the opportunity back in 2010, 2011, when the Managers Association had a spot on the board. I served a year on the MML board. So I think I have a good connection with municipal government, the needs, as well as the strengths of MML. So that it was a natural fit for me.
Yeah, I know, Jeff, I've known you for years in your time as a city manager. And I think we're really fortunate to have you and the other field services folks on board. Is there an area of expertise that you have, and you may have covered this already, but that you think really lends itself to your work with municipalities here?
I'd like to think Tom, that it's the entire body of work, the entire career. Having worked on an interim basis for a town like St. Michael's, there's a little over 1,000 people, and for a city like Cumberland, that's nearly 20,000 people. I think that full body of work has exposed me to the struggles and the challenges that smaller towns face, as well as bigger towns. But so to be able to see that full picture, because and as everywhere in the state of Maryland, I don't know, I suppose we have arguably the smallest town in the state, or one of the smallest towns, with Luke, and then Cumberland, who's nearly 20,000 people and is in one of the top 15, I believe. So I think that whole body of work is what will help me help our member municipalities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I think that variety of municipalities really speaks to what Teresa alluded to earlier, is that and the not one size fitting everyone. Mm-hmm. So I think within each of these districts, you've got some large, relatively sophisticated, if I may use the word, municipalities that have a variety of different staff members, and some are incredibly small. So I think that's going to be a real opportunity for us as field services reps. So and then the last question, Jeff, is how's your outreach going so far?
Pretty good. You alluded to some of the challenges, particularly with some of the smaller towns, that they may not have a town hall that's open each day, and folks are working and part-time employees. But I've had the opportunity to meet with the town of Westernport and city of Cumberland, city of Frostburg, briefly with the administrator in Lonaconing, met with briefly with the new town clerk in Luke. And this week, actually after this meeting, I'm headed to Accident today, and then Hagerstown on Wednesday and Friendsville on Thursday. And I'm trying to work a couple in addition to that on those trips as well. So I think it's going relatively well.
Great. Well, it certainly sounds like you're off to a good start. And so thank you, Jeff, for joining us today. I'm going to move around the horn here and move to our next field services representative, which is Jamie Kendrick. And I see Jamie has joined.
Afternoon, everybody.
Good to see you, sir. So I'm going to,
Likewise.
now that you know what the questions are, I'm going to throw them at you as well. And the first one is well, let me just say too, so as you can see on the screen, Jamie is covering the Lower Shore. And speaking of small municipalities, we've got quite a few there. We're looking at basically Dorchester, Wycomico, Worcester, and Somerset counties, as well as District 2, Talbot, and Caroline. So, so Jamie, what drew you to this project of working with municipal governments?
So I used to work in probably what's Maryland's largest municipality, Baltimore City, as a deputy director of transportation. And the one thing I loved about that job is that every night on the ride home, I could look to my left or look to my right and see something that we had just done. A street resurfaced, a traffic calming project, a traffic signal repair, what have you. Since I left the city and came into my own consulting firm around transportation and infrastructure management, I've had the same experience where I love to work with the smaller. I've enjoyed working with the smaller towns because, again, you can see what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. You can touch it, you can feel it. But I know at the same time there's a lot of municipalities that struggle with those basics, and not for lack of desire, but just for lack of capacity and bandwidth. So the ability to help out those municipalities to learn more. I will say, and I don't know if any of my folks are on the call, I do have the slight disadvantage that I live in Havre de Grace, so it's a bit of a hike for me to get to the Lower Shore. However, I'm setting aside a couple of days a week to try and do speed rounds with those I've not talked to on the phone. I think I've talked to 5 or 6 so far, and 4 or 5 scheduled for this week.
Okay, great. That's and then the next question, of course, Jamie, is what particular, and you mentioned infrastructure, but what particular area of expertise do you think will really lend itself to your work here?
So land use, transportation, parks and recreation are the big 3. I've had a couple of inquiries already about some zoning and land use issues that I'm trying to help out with. The one thing on transportation, I find that a lot of municipalities have small needs that they've been, kind of knocking up against the big door of SHA, trying to get resolved for many, many years. And they're trying to help, and it's not unique to SHA that when, for any agency that gets these kind of constituent service questions, the first answer is typically no, as is the second and third answer. But sometimes you just have to pose the problem rather than the question, or rather than the solution. And that becomes a lot easier to then get your issue resolved. So helping folks to work through kind of transportation issues, which other than road maintenance typically aren't, small municipality issues. So.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And that's really one of the purposes for this program is, for a lot of municipalities, that they can feel like they're the, tiny voice in this huge crowd of needs around the state. So to the extent that MML can help make those connections, I think that's a really important part of what we're trying to do here. So, and then I think you already touched on this, Jamie, but the how's the scheduling and the visits going? Anything jump out for you so far?
Sure. Again, I've chatted with Galestown, population 44, and all the way up through Berlin and Easton, and then again 2 or 3 more scheduled this week. So we're making our way through the list of 38. I think I do have the most of any of the field reps, but we'll get to all of you soon.
Yeah, you're the winner in that respect, Jamie. That's
No problem.
Okay, so thanks so much for joining us. We're going to continue to move down the line here, and next up we have Victor Oliveira, and Victor, we want to hear a little bit more about your story. Why don't you jump on here?
Hey, Tom. Thank you. Yeah.
I can see it. I mentioned before you're way overdressed for this, but but we appreciate the enthusiasm.
Absolutely. Never too overdressed for the MML folks, but thank you. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thanks again. Thanks for joining us. And we're all familiar with the questions now, and which is what drew you to working with local governments here in Maryland?
Sure. Absolutely. Well, I'm currently serving as chief of staff to a Maryland State Representative, Delegate Ryan Spiegel, who happens to be a former MML president and who served for 16 years in the Gaithersburg City Council. And now, as a representative of District 17, he covers two municipalities, so Rockville and Gaithersburg. So, even though I'm working at the state level now, a lot of what I do, it's, really connected with the work that's been done and is currently doing right now at the municipal level. And previously, I worked as staffer for members representing District 21, so College Park, Laurel, Beltsville. So a lot of what I do now and whatever I did in the past are really related to, the work we do with municipalities. But most importantly, in 2024, as a staffer for Delegate Mary Lehman, I had the opportunity to work on this one bill that I'm sure many municipalities will appreciate from Western Maryland to the Eastern Shore. This bill addressed or sought to address this chronic issue in Maryland of speed exhibitions or exhibition driving or street takeover in cities and municipalities in the state of Maryland. So I worked with Delegate Lehman to make sure that we had harsher penalties and to give more authority for local government to address that. So it was just really good to get that feedback from the municipalities and to be able to address that at statewide level. But yeah, it's been great. I think that there's so many opportunities to work with our municipalities. I think that, whenever we're working on policy in Annapolis and, as a chief of staff and working there since 2022, we often seek that advice, that perspective, that experience of what an issue that is being impacted the entire state. But, the expertise of municipalities is really crucial and we need that. So, that's something that, we really appreciate. And I'm really looking forward to, strengthening and working with our municipalities. So.
So I think we have some commotion in the background here. Yeah, so Victor, thank you very much. Certainly, I mean, I know that helped make our connection with you. Your work with Delegate Spiegel, who, as you noted, has a little bit of experience with local governments, and I definitely appreciate the nexus between the work you're doing statewide and how much so much of that impacts our cities and towns. So, really appreciate having you on board. So how's the outreach going for you?
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Tom. And I just wanted to say that, coming from Annapolis and working with Teresa, the policy team, and so many of you, we've always been really impressed by the diligence and by the way that this team at MML approaches policy. But, being part of the team now, it's just great to see that, beyond all of the many qualities at professional level, you all are also great people. But the outreach has been great. I think that we have several meetings scheduled in the coming weeks. I will be sending one email soon to make sure that, if you missed my email, and I do apologize because I sent my email at 3 p.m. on a Friday. So that's not ideal, but I'm going to send another one after this meeting. And I look forward to have all of these visits scheduled. And yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. Looking forward to meeting with you all. And thank you.
All right. No, thank you, Victor. Really pleased to have you on board.
Thank you, Tom.
All right. Next up, we have Stacy Spragans. You there, Stacy?
Sorry, unmute myself. Hi, thank you for having me, Tom. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. No, it's I've had the pleasure of working with you for a long time too, Stacy. That's so Stacy is covering okay, I need to keep up on the slides here. There we go. Upper Shore, Northern Maryland. There's your list of municipalities and districts. So yeah, starting off with the same question, it's what led you to jump on this program?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about it. My first job ever was with the city of Whittier in California, starting when I was 15. And I worked there for quite some time in Parks and Recreation. And then my first big kid job, I guess, was City of Los Angeles in wastewater engineering. I responded to an MOU from the state of California to register septic tanks. So at that time, homes with septic systems were not in any sort of database or being regulated in any sort of way. So that was an interesting project. Kind of coming full circle, I worked as a consultant for the federal government for a little bit, public education. So my heart is really with the people and with community. So I'm really excited about kind of coming back all the way around to where I begun. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be here.
So do you have a specific like skill set or interest you think that's really going to lend itself to your work here?
Yeah, most of my work involves community building, training and facilitation, um, and also project management. So if you're looking to streamline anything or looking for support, maybe with communication among council members and or staff, things like that, I would definitely be your person.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you, Stacy. Great to have you on board. It's I know now we've had the opportunity to work in a few different capacities. So yeah, so as you all can see, we've got a really strong team here. I'm excited about working with everyone. And oh yeah, our final so I don't know. So basically to cover the same questions, I've been with MML. It'll be 23 years in January. And I've had the privilege really to work with our municipalities in a number of different capacities. I've done, research. I've dipped my toes into the legislative side, spent a fair amount of time doing education work and conferences. I am now also doing for those of you who are not aware, a facilitation program where we go in particular with newly elected councils and helping them with team building, understanding roles and responsibilities, and some goal setting. So if anybody out there has a council that's relatively new or even been around for a little while and could use some assistance in those areas, we'd be happy to help out. So that's kind of my background here. Thanks to Teresa for believing in me to, and giving me this opportunity to be a part of this program. So yeah, so that is, let me see, actually we've got one more slide here, which is just, so the next steps. So as we've talked about, we're reaching out, we're scheduling. I think that we've made, and the way I expect this to go is a lot of early success because we do have a number of our members who are getting back to us pretty quickly and saying, yeah, let's set something up and schedule. As has been noted throughout this conversation, there's some who are going to be a little harder to reach, as has been the case over time. And, and again, a lot of municipalities, as we all know, are just, small and have a lot of stuff on their plate. So, but we're going to continue that outreach and we're going to meet with everybody, as we move through this. And we'd love the help of everyone on board, everybody who's, a part of this webinar today. If you know a municipality that hasn't heard about the program, please spread the word. And last note here is help us help you. It's a team effort out there. So now we go to the final portion of our program, which is, well, thank you might be a little premature, but we're ready to take your questions as the note is there. So do we have anything in the Q&A?
Tom, there's nothing in the Q&A, but um, I wanted to address the group. I can see who our attendees are, and I'm seeing quite a diversity of elected officials. I'm also seeing municipal staff in here. So what I wanted to impart on everybody is the fact that this is such a needed program. And what we really need from you all is the ability to allow it to grow organically. And what I mean by that is, we've kind of built this program, trying to make sure that we get out there to you. But we want to do it the same way we've always done our services. And that is, we want to be able to talk to both your staff officials and your elected officials, because that's the way that we get a well-rounded view. Obviously, when we first start out, you're going to see a lot of the field reps reaching out directly to your manager, your clerk, to those directors who are kind of aware of what's going on around the entire city. But as we go along, they're definitely going to be wanting to speak to the elected officials, and and the elected officials are obviously welcome to reach out to the person who is their field rep. But this is an MML service like all MML services. It is open. If you are a member, you are free to reach this person. This is our way of making sure that you have a more direct connect to some of the resources. They are your air traffic control. They're going to be the ones that help you to feed that question to advocacy. It doesn't mean you can't call the advocacy team. It means that you have somebody who, you know for a fact that that question got there, and either that advocacy team member can reach out to you directly, or they'll go back to your field rep and let you know. So it's just a way, we think, to streamline the conversations, but most importantly, you having a direct connection to league resources and information.
Thank you, Paula. And with that, I would encourage anyone who has questions, just throw that into the Q&A, or again, as Paula noted, reach out to any of us. You should have our contact information if you don't have the direct contact information yet for your. And let me do this. I don't know if we put into the chat yet the page on our website, which is dedicated to the field services program.
We have.
Okay, that's you all are always on the ball. But yeah, the contacts are there. Reach out to us with any questions. You need assistance, schedule a meeting, whatever you need, we're here for you. So I don't know if there's. I'm not seeing any questions in the Q&A, so maybe we're ready to wrap this up. But
all right, can we get our field service reps on camera one last time? Everybody can see them all. Oh, look at that. It's wonderful.
all right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Look forward to talking with everyone.
Have a good week.